And we're live. Welcome back, everyone. Finally live after 6 weeks off. Hope you all had a very good Christmas. Enjoyed the World Cup and all those good things. Welcome back. Did you guys miss FPL? I'm buzzing to be back. It's been, I won't lie, it's been a long 6 weeks. As you guys probably know, I didn't do any World Cup fantasy content, so I've had a lot of time on my hands. Started up the second channel, worked on a few videos to keep busy, but it's been a long 6 weeks for me, so it's good to be back. Obviously, I've been smashing out the videos over the last week, so thank you all for the lovely comments and watching all my videos. I wasn't sure if there'd be as much appetite coming back to FPL, but the views have been great on videos, so I appreciate that as well. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. I'm a little bit rusty, a little bit nervous. It's been a while, and my team's still not locked in. A little bit of last minute tinkering right before we went live. I was thinking to myself, everyone's got the same team, Kepa, Ward, Cancelo, so I was toying with Edison and Cucurella, and then Gabriel over White, so I'll talk a bit about that on the stream. I think why not just go a bit different, because everyone's got the same teams, right? So at least when you tune into my team selection videos, you'll have something a bit different to look at, rather than the same teams across all YouTube channels. But I think that's just the way it goes. People talk about how everyone's copying each other in template, but I think what happens is there's some players that everyone just agrees on the better picks, and that's become the case with players like Martial and Rashford, who I think are great options, by the way, for the Forest home game. So welcome to the stream, everyone. We've got Harry, Nicholas, Henry, Suit, Ikrama, Chaotic, Master, Dexter, Ashley, TF McGee, Roland. Good to see a few members in the chat. Welcome to the stream, everyone. How are we all doing? What did you all get for Christmas? Hopefully we get a Haaland hat-trick for Christmas. No Salah, says James. Yeah, no Salah. So that's one of the big decisions I've made as well. I think Salah's the more template pick, but I'm on De Bruyne. It is really close between the two, I won't lie. In the League Cup game, De Bruyne looked better, in my opinion. 2 assists. Man of the match performance, I thought. So he's in at the moment. Obviously, they've got this double game week. We'll talk about the double game weeks on this stream. They've got the 1 in 20, which isn't actually locked in yet. It may not happen, but there's about 70% chance of that double game week 20 happening. And then there's the double in 23, which is locked in. So that's the other thing with De Bruyne. He does save a transfer. Questions in the chat about Kepa. Will he start? I believe he's first choice. He was under Potter when Potter came in for Chelsea. He got injured and then Mendy came in for a few games. I believe he's first choice. He's more of a Potter player. He's good with his feet. I guess he has similar attributes to Sanchez at Brighton, so I think that he's first choice. And for 4.5 mil, I think he's worth a go. Obviously they've got the double, but they've got a couple of nice fixtures before, so that's why he's in. But in this draft, I've got Edison as well, so I'd start him in the next 2, to be honest, and then I'd start Kepa for the double game week, and then Edison for the one after. And then I've got a second draft, which I'll show you in a minute. It's almost identical to this. There's just 3 players that are different. Seen a few people talking about Bruno. Anyone in chat on Bruno? The thing with Bruno is he's a lot, right? I think he's about 3 mil more than Rashford, so I'm not sure if he's worth 3 mil more. If it was 1 mil, maybe 1.5 mil, I'd be tempted, but for me, I think Rashford's fine. I've got Martial, so even that's a slightly risky double up, but I think it's worth it for Man United's next 3 fixtures. Good differential, 4.7%. Anyone in chat on Martial? Or for that matter, Nketiah? I think Nketiah is honestly a really good option as well among the forwards, because Jesus is obviously out for at least a couple of months. So Nketiah comes in 1.8% owned. Obviously this season he's just been a bench player, but last season 5 goals in the last 7 games for Arsenal. First choice now, nailed. Might come off early some games because he's the only real striker option that Arteta has, but I think Martial and Nketiah are the 2 standout differentials if you're looking for a nice differential for the restart. TF McGee says Martial captain. I don't know if I'd go that far, but did any of you guys watch yesterday's experts video? Christmas Day upload. 99 out of the 100 experts are on Haaland captain, but there is one, I think his name was Aaron, he's on Rashford captain, which I thought was very, very bold. But he said it was for a few reasons. He started the season poorly, so that was one reason he's taken the punt. But he thinks it's a fixture suited to Rashford and so on. So yeah, fair play to him for that, Rashford. Flandy, thank you for the 8 months membership as well. He says, welcome back, boss. Thank you, Flandy, appreciate that. And thank you to all the members, especially those that didn't cancel their membership, by the way, when I wasn't uploading over the break. So thank you for that. If anyone's interested in becoming a member, it supports the channel. You get early access to my videos, you get a badge by your name and all those good things. So it's the join button below the stream, or there's some links below for that. So thank you for your support. Mango says Saka or Martinelli. So I'm on Saka myself. It is a tough one because there is quite a price difference between the two. Saka's on penalties. His expected goal involvement is high this season, so that's why I'm on Saka myself. This draft actually has 0.8 mil in the bank, so I could even go Martinelli over Almiron. Anyone in chat not on Almiron? I really want to go about him, but I think it's just, you know, top scoring midfielder for 5.8 mil. It feels like you're just going to have to concede and get him, but yeah, I don't mind anyone who's bold enough to go about him. I think he's going. What's his ownership? 38%. I don't mind someone going for someone like Martinelli instead. I've seen a few people with Trossard, Zaha. I think they're all fine. A-Bot's not on Almiron. Sam Stark says he's too good. Ewan says, why did you take Cancelo out? I think going for Ederson still gives you the clean sheet potential. It saves you 2 mil, which is massive. And it does free up money to go for Gabriel over White. I've got Cucurella instead over, I can't remember who that was there. But also partly because everyone's got the same bloody team, so I thought, why not just try something a bit different? You know, it's not to say that Cancelo isn't going to end up the better pick. I just thought I'd try something a bit different, so this is where I'm at the moment. But this is the other draft that does have Cancelo in. The difference is really, it's just Ward in goal instead of Ederson. Cancelo's in instead of Cucurella, and White is in instead of Gabriel. What do you guys prefer? Ward, Cancelo, White, or Ederson, Cucurella and Gabriel? Cucurella could be Dunk, for example, instead. Basically just got one eye on the double game week in 20, which isn't too far away. Not triple Chelsea defence, double. Oh, it's triple. I didn't consider that. It's triple Chelsea defence. Oh, I can't do that, can I? How did I oversee that? I completely missed that. That's bold, isn't it? Triple Chelsea defence. Yeah, that's a good point, because if I go for that option, then it does also block out the option of having Mount, for example, if I wanted to have Mount. Triple Chelsea defence. Let me go back to that first draft. What if Kepa was Sanchez instead? What about that? That'd be a real template breaker, because everyone is on the same team. It feels like that'd be a real template breaker. Sanchez and Ederson. Because hang on, what would I do? So when it gets to 20, I'd start Cucurella and James, and then I'd have to pick between Gabriel and Trippier. Triple Chelsea defence. No, surely not. What do you think? Sanchez? Because, alright, hang on. I've got a graphic here on potential double game weeks. Let's start with what has been announced. We've got the double game week 19, which is Chelsea and Fulham. It's not 20, I don't know what I'm talking about. And then we've got game week 20, which is Man City and Spurs that double. But that's only a double game week if Man City and Spurs don't draw the FA Cup fixture, which is played in the midweek before game week 20. And then there's double game week 23, which is Arsenal Man City. But there is potentially further double game weeks in 21. This is a screenshot from Ben Crellin. He said, I think Arsenal and Everton are maybe a 75% likely to move to double game week 21. Brighton also have at least a 75% chance of doubling in 21. So there is a potential double game week 21, which is why maybe Sanchez would be the one. Oh, I can't go triple Chelsea defence. Thank you for the super chat. Flandy, he says, got Mitrovic in. What to do with him? And Kessia as differential. The thing with Mitrovic, he might be fine, but Marco Silva, he didn't say much, but he said he's a doubt, which is why I haven't got him. Obviously, he does have that double game week in 19, so he's a good option, but yeah, he didn't make my draft for that reason. So personally, I'm swerving him. think Martial and Nketiah are both good alternatives. Wilson's fine as well. Dylan says, regarding Almiron, feels like it could become an Antonio situation like last year, taking a gamble without him. World Cup break can help, but also hurt form. World Cup break. Yeah, exactly that. Do these players come back in the same form that they left? In a friendly the other day, to be fair, Almiron had a massive chance. It was an open goal and he missed it. Whether that's some regression to some bad finishing, who knows? You could also argue that he's taken up good areas, but yeah, it's a fair point. Does he carry on that form? Which is why I don't mind players like Martinelli instead of Almiron. Hang on, so I need to think this through. Why am I thinking of my team through on the deadline stream? So James, Cucurella, Sanchez. So that... What do you think? Sanchez or Kepa? Everyone's got Kepa as well, so it would be a real template breaker if I went for Sanchez instead. Maybe I'll just go with that. Sanchez and Edison. A-Bot says, hey Oscar, is Zaha a keep considering I've got money in him up until Gameweek 18? Also, if Brighton do get a double Gameweek, any mid-priced mids or defenders to bring in? Trossard's the standout, in my opinion, among the midfielders. Depending on what role McAllister has when he comes back, I think De Zerbi was saying his role might change, so maybe McAllister, but I think Trossard would be the standout Brighton mid. Is Zaha a keep? The thing with Zaha is he's got 2 good games and then they turn, so it just depends if you've got other transfers booked in, because after the next 2, I would want to be selling Zaha. So it just depends on your team. I don't mind Zaha at all. He was in a few of my drafts. I think I might just stick with a triple Chelsea defence, you know. Because if they just get if they get a clean sheet against Fulham, I'm absolutely laughing. I don't know. What do you think? I might just stick with it because everyone's got the same team. I feel like it'd be quite fun to go with a different team. If nothing else, it'd be entertaining. Because everyone is on the same team, right? Pretty much. Sam says stick with Kepa. Jack says replace Cucurella. Who would I replace Cucurella with though? That's the question. There's Dunk, but I'm not sure about Dunk because then if for any reason James didn't play against Forest, for example, then I'm forced to play Dunk, who has... Does he have Arsenal? Yeah, he's got Arsenal. And Patterson's got Man City, so... Yeah, I'm not sure on that. I think I'd leave it as it is. I might just go for it. Cuckoo to Shaw. The problem is, what's Man United's back line going to be? It could be something like Shaw right back, Malacia left back, Lindelof and Maguire centre back. I mean, they could easily still keep a clean sheet with that back 4, but I'm not sure. A little bit of other news. We'll just quickly rattle through. There's a few other bits of news. Obviously, we're talking about Chelsea. Mount, Kepa and James all back in training. They were flagged, obviously, but all of them have been spotted back in training. So that's good news if anyone's considering them. Anyone on Mount out of interest? I've seen Mount in a few drafts. Obviously, he's not had a good season so far, but as we said, 2 good fixtures and then a double game week. Man City news, Ruben Diaz is out for up to a month after suffering a thigh or hamstring injury against Switzerland at the World Cup. So a few people have been talking about Nkanji as an alternative to Cancelo or Edison. He has started every game since he signed, or since Game Week 8, I think it is. Still not sure though, because they do have Stones. Obviously, they've got Ake and Laporte competing on the left side. And lastly, Liverpool news. Firmino's out of the trip to Man City due to a calf injury. That was the League Cup game. Unclear if he's going to be back or not for this game week either. When I heard about the Jota and Diaz injuries, my first thought was, well, at least Darwin's nailed, but with Firmino out as well, I think there becomes a point where they're missing too many players. So I'm fine with just Darwin and not Salah myself. Still got a Liverpool attacker, but not all in with Salah and Darwin. So that's why I'm on De Bruyne myself. But in fact, I didn't include it on the news roundup. But Aston Villa are without Martinez in goal because he's obviously celebrating the World Cup win with his Argentinian teammates. So I think it's going to be Olsen in goal for Aston Villa, which is obviously a good thing for those that have got Liverpool attackers like Salah and Darwin. Daniel says no Maddison. Yeah, I believe Maddison's also going to be out for the Newcastle game. So good news for those that have Trippier, which I think is nearly all of us. TF McGee says not planning on getting Dalot. Dallow's injured now. I think he's got a hamstring injury, so he's out. So yeah, no Dalot. I did have Dalot in my first draft, but yeah, he's not in at the moment. So yeah, screw it. I'm going to leave the team as it is, I think. Should I lock it in yet, or should I wait till a bit later? I think I'll lock it in nearer the deadline. I still haven't made my transfers at all for 6 weeks. This song is my cousin's, by the way. He's called Wilding on Spotify, if anyone's interested. I didn't even know he made music, and then my brother sent me it, and I was like, what? He makes music? Will Perisic play? I wouldn't be surprised if Sessegnon plays, because Perisic played, I think, the most minutes out of all Premier League players at the World Cup. So, yeah, I don't think, I'm not sure if he starts. I wouldn't have him, that's for sure. Sean, thank you for the 2 months as well. He says, thoughts on going with a 4-5-1 formation? If you're going to have 2 forwards that don't play at all, then it's not for me, because then your bench is really light. You've just got 1 player on your bench, so not for me. If your second striker was someone like Mitrovic, who you benched just this week, then that's fine, but I don't think 4-5-1 is the one. What formations have you guys got? Chuck your formations in the chat. I'm going to be on a 3-4-3 myself. Martinelli the GOAT asks, are you worried about not having Martinelli? Yeah, he's been a really good asset this season, to be fair, but I've got Saka, who I think will finish the season on more points than Martinelli. He's on penalties, so that's why. 4-4-2, 3-4-3. CM Kelly's on 3-5-2. Bit of a mix of formations, but yeah, pretty much everyone's on at least 2 strikers. 4-2-3-1. Invented a new formation. That would be interesting, actually, if FPL added a defensive mid position to make defensive mids actually relevant in FPL. Because like, who's going to ever pick players like Partey and Kante and all those sort of players? But if they, added a defensive mid position where they get points for things like tackles and recoveries, that'd be interesting. But I think it would be overcomplicating the game a bit. Nicholas says, give the video a like. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream so far, please do hit like. We've got 214 likes. We've got 2,000 watching, so hit like if you're enjoying the stream so far. I'm going to lock my transfers in soon. Lots more to talk about still. Let's have a look at the scout selection for Gameweek 19. Their team is as follows. They've got Ramsdale in goal. Back 3 of Cancelo, James and Shaw. Midfield is Zaha, Trossard, Martinelli and Rashford. Front 3 of Haaland, Kane. We haven't even talked about Kane yet on the stream. And Nunez. What do you guys think of the team? Yeah, Kane, completely, we haven't even talked about him at all. The question that I've been, not just myself, but a lot of people have been asking is, how does he come back from the World Cup? He misses that penalty, which would have put England level. England get knocked out. He's probably absolutely gutted. But, yeah, I haven't seen him in many drafts. Obviously, there's a chance that Spurs have a double Gameweek 20, which adds to his appeal. Obviously, you wouldn't captain him, because you'd captain Haaland in all likelihood, or maybe De Bruyne. Oh, the stream crash. Are we back? We're back. Good. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Trossard's interesting, Zaha's interesting. Can't really fault most of the picks. But yeah, Kane's very interesting. I'm surprised they didn't go for a 3-5-2, and instead of Kane they have Salah or De Bruyne here, but yeah, good team. Edith says it was leaked that Martinelli will play striker. I haven't heard that anywhere. I don't think that would be leaked, and I don't think that would be true. It'll be Nketiah that plays striker, which is why I think he's an awesome option. Not even 2% owned. Martinelli might get some minutes in striker. Maybe if Arsenal have are shutting up shop or they've won the game, then maybe Nketiah comes off and Martinelli moves up top, because Nketiah is really the only option Arteta has in striker, so he is going to have to manage him carefully. So it could be a change we see later in games, but it's definitely going to be Nketiah starting a striker. Did I miss a super chat? Hang on, let me scroll up. Apologies, I missed it. So ask it again in the chat. Sorry I missed that, Ahmed. Unless you're trolling me. Why KDB over Salah? Was that the question? It's for a few reasons. First of all, De Bruyne has more points this calendar year, more points per game. He looked better in the League Cup. He had something like 75 touches to Salah's 25. So, yeah, he's just kind of the heartbeat of Man City. Obviously, they've got this double game week in 20 and 23, so it saves the transfer as well. So there's a few reasons there. But yeah, it's very close, I won't lie. It is very close. Let's do a poll, actually. I'm interested to know what you guys... how you guys are leaning on that debate. Salah or... Obviously, some of you have both. So this poll will be if you had to pick one. Get your votes in. Oops. Oh, what have I done? Oh, there we go. Salah or De Bruyne. If you had to pick one, get your votes in. Happy birthday to Heike New. 37th birthday today. Hope you have a good one. A very well-timed birthday. With FPL back. Austin, thank you for the 10 months as well. He says, morning Oscar, good to have you back on, love. Thank you, Austin, appreciate that. Appreciate your support, mate. Thank you. Closing in 1 year. Crazy. Was there a super chat about Pulisic? Is that what it was? Oh, Dylan said, thoughts on Pulisic? Not for me. Not for me. I'm not sure if he even starts. It's way too risky in my opinion. If I was going to pick a Chelsea mid, it would be Mount. Havertz has obviously been reclassified as a striker, so I don't hate the Havertz pick, but I think there are better options like Darwin, Martial, Nketiah, Wilson. But yeah, Pulisic not for me. Not sure if he even starts or not. Emil says Kulusevski's in my team for sure. Yeah, Kulusevski's another one we haven't even talked about on this stream. Richarlison injured at the moment, so the front three will be Son, Kane and Kulusevski. And obviously Kulusevski is a really good FPL asset, consistent performer. Again, not seen him in many drafts, but it's difficult to squeeze all the mids in. You know, you've got Saka, Almiron, Rashford. Those are the three I've got. But then you've got these other players like Martinelli, Trossard, Zaha, Mount, Foden, probably loads of others that I'm forgetting. So, and then obviously most people have got Andreas. Certainly if you're playing a midfield four, you have Andreas as your fifth on the bench. What I like about Andreas is that when he has this double game week, it rotates nicely with Almiron. I don't mind benching Almiron for Arsenal away, and then I'll start Andreas. Mahir says, is this your final draft? Yeah, this is the final team. I somehow didn't notice that it's triple Chelsea defence, but we are where we are. So that's the plan is to stick with this team now. It is a bit different. Everyone's got the same team, so I'm going a bit different. Why not? Right, let's have a look at who the most transferred players are. The problem with most transfer players is that it's a bit skewed to transfers made before the World Cup break, because it's Tony who's the most transferred in player. He scored a brace right before the break, so I think that's why he's the most transferred in. 1.2 million. Second's actually Rashford, 1.1 million. Darwin, 1 million. James, 1 million. Almiron, 920k transfers. Kane, 723. Mitrovic, 720k. Ward, White. Yeah, a lot of popular picks here. Castagna, interesting. Greenwood, I guess this is at least 500,000 managers are running with a front two, and then Greenwood as the third forward. Yeah, he's 4.2 mil, so he's the one if you're playing with a 4-4-2 formation or 3-5-2. Andreas, thank you for the 11 months. He says, thoughts on Tete from Fulham? Tete, off the top of my head, is he even going to start for them? They've got Diop now, right? So what's the centre back pairing? Who's the other one? What's his name? Adebayo? What's that Fulham centre back that plays? I think it'll be Diop, or maybe he'll share minutes with Tete. I don't think I'd go for Tete. Seems a bit risky in terms of minutes. Tete's right back. Oh, is he a right back? Oh no, who did they sign? Mbabu. Maybe Mbabu will share minutes. Is that right? Mbabu, they signed at right back. Ream's centre back. Didn't they sign Mbabu, who plays right back? Is that right? Any Fulham fans in the chat? Yeah, I'm not sure about Tete in terms of his minutes. Let's see what his minutes have been like. I don't know if you can trust him. He played 14, 90 against Man City, and then didn't play against Man United in 16. I'm not sure. Maybe there's any Fulham fans in the chat. Let us know how nailed he is. But didn't they sign Mbabu to play that same position? Yeah, I'm not sure. To be honest, why would you want a Fulham defender anyway? No disrespect to Fulham fans, but why would you even want a Fulham defender? I know they've got the double game week, but this is the thing about double game weeks as well. Sometimes you have to be careful not to just get baited by double game week players that you'd never, ever actually want. You know, what could easily happen is they get to double game week 20 here, or 19, sorry. Leicester win like 2-1, Chelsea win 2-0, and then what, you've got 2 points from your Fulham defender. I mean, that could happen with Cucurella, but you know, at least there's a decent chance of a clean sheet in one of those 2 games. Doesn't it concern you that Darwin's basically a Werner regen? Not too concerned. I mean, I think he's better than Werner, and he's playing for a better team. So, I think he's fine. I think 9 mil's fine. You know, his underlying numbers are actually good. I think after Haaland, he is second best in the league for minutes per expected goal involvement. Obviously, his minutes have been a bit all over the place, but with Diaz and Jota out, he's going to be nailed. You know, his returns haven't been too bad, and he will be nailed now, so I don't mind it at all. A bit harsh on Werner and Darwin, I suppose. Joseph says, nah, Darwin's just a Uruguayan Andy Carroll. Will Reece James start the game? I think he will. I think he'll start, yeah. Back in training. He played 65 minutes in a recent friendly, so I think it's fine. I think he starts. Yeah, this is the problem with James. He's such a roller coaster asset. He'll get you 1.1 week and then he'll get you 15 the next. We saw that last season. He went on a run of noughts and ones. But if you catch him at the right time, he's got absolute monster hauls in him. You know, he can get 15, 18 point game weeks, which could happen in these next 2 fixtures, and then he's got the double game week. So I think that's why James is such a popular pick, even though this season he's not been a great FPL asset. Darwin scored a brace in Dubai. There we go then. Ifan Meister says, who's the best 4th defender to rotate with Trippier, James and Cancelo? Currently got Castagna with double game week in the horizon. Do Leicester have a potential double game week? I've not seen that. I would say Ben White or Gabriel. One of those 2, if you can afford them. I think Patterson's absolutely fine. He's got a potential double game week 21. Let's bring that back up again. I mean, there's lots of fixtures that could move around in 21, but I wanted to highlight this one because Ben Krellin says, in his opinion, he thinks that Arsenal versus Everton is about 75% likely to move to double game week 21. And Brighton also have at least a 75% chance of doubling, as they have 2 fixtures that could move in 21. The game against Crystal Palace, so Palace would also double, or the game against Bournemouth, so Bournemouth would also double. The former is probably more likely, the Palace game. They could even both move to double game week 21, or game week 21, to give Brighton a triple game week. But yeah, I think White or Gabriel maybe Dunk. Castagna's fine. So the question was Salah or De Bruyne. 62% are on De Bruyne. That's surprising. I thought Salah would be favourite. 38% are on Salah. Interesting. Alright, let's do a captain poll. This is it's almost a pointless exercise, isn't it? Who is your captain for Game Week 17? Haaland, De Bruyne, Salah, other. Poll is up, get your votes in. Who is your captain for Game Week 17? Is Foden a good choice? Foden's a good choice, definitely. It's just his minutes, really. It's so unpredictable. Absolutely killed me before the break, Foden. I was sitting about 100k, about 3 game weeks before the break. And then Maddison got suspended, I think it was. So I had to sell Maddison. I got Foden, he was absolutely flying. A goal, a hat-trick, a goal assist. 90 against Liverpool, didn't get anything. I got him here. Bench. And then I sold him for Brentford, I think, when he started finally and scored. So, yeah, his minutes are just all over the place. That's the problem. It was Grealish who was getting starts ahead of him. 90% are on Haaland captain, 3% on De Bruyne, 4% on Salah, and 3% on other. No surprises there. Can you show us your starting 11? I haven't locked the transfers in yet, but it would be Ederson in goal, Gabriel, Trippier, James, Almiron, Saka, De Bruyne, Rashford, Haaland, Martial and Darwin. So Cucurella would be first on the bench. TXJD says, any update on Maddison, Mitrovic's and Trent's fitness? So Maddison, I believe, is going to miss the game. Let me see if I can find a confirmation of that. In fact, I might be lying. Hang on, no, we do have a leak. Well, it's from Sam Martin, who obviously is a Leicester in the know. And he said, he was asked, do you know if Maddison is starting tomorrow? And he said, I don't believe so, mate, no. So I would say definitely swerve Maddison. I would say he's a hard avoid. I don't think he'll start. What were the other questions? It was Mitrovic. So the latest on Mitrovic, we don't know much, but the latest, I believe, let me know in chat if I'm wrong, the latest is just that Silva said he's a doubt. So again, if you've got a good bench player, then I think it's fine to have him. But in my case, I've just swerved completely and gone for Martial, and then there is the option to make that transfer when they double. And Trent, I'm not sure on Trent. Yeah, he wasn't in the League Cup squad against Man City. Milner did pick up an injury. I'm not sure what the severity of that is either, but maybe that would put pressure on Klopp to start Trent if they've got Milner out. I suppose Gomez could play right back, but it's all a bit up in the air. You know, is Konate going to be back? Probably not. Is Milner going to play? You know, if Konate's out, then maybe Gomez can't play right back. Yeah, I've swerved Trent myself. He did make it into one or two of my drafts, but yeah, he's not in. Yeah, he could be an absolute monster differential. If he gets back to the form we know he's capable of, then I think he's an absolutely awesome asset. Thank you all Thank you all for tuning into the stream so far. We've got 2,300. If you are enjoying the stream so far, do drop it a like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to have a look at the projected points next for Game Week 17 from FPL Review, and they are as follows. Haaland top, 7.6 projected points. Salah second, 6.7. Kane, 5.7. Saka, 5.6, along with De Bruyne. Bruno, 5.5. We talked about him a bit earlier. But really the problem is that Rashford, for 3 mil less, is projected about the same. Darwin, 5.2. Zaha, interesting one. I know that he burnt a lot of managers, myself included, before the break when he missed the penalty. But I still think he's not a bad pick for the next two. Martial, 5 points. Sterling, I don't know about Sterling. I think he's an avoid. Martinelli's there. Oh, Cucurella. There's my boy Cucurella, although he's on my bench, so that's no good. Why Gabriel over Shaw? I just think he's a better asset, better defence. He's got more goal threat, and which isn't the right one. Which one do I need? Firefox. That's that one. See, I told you I'm rusty. It's been a while. Sorry about that. Right, how do I switch this back? That one. There we go. Boom. We're back. Perfect. Sorry about that. Hopefully we're back. Hopefully you can hear me fine now. I'll investigate that later. I'm not sure why there was a dropout, but anyway, we're back in business. So keep your questions coming in. We've got about 50 minutes till the deadline. So any questions, chuck them in the chat. We're back. Thank you for sticking with me. Appreciate that. Who are you starting in goal? Says Harry Corn. I'm going to start Edison in goal. That's the plan. Edison between the sticks. I'm hovering now. What's happened to my webcam? Let's move that down. There we go. Oh. Boom. Knew something would go wrong on the first stream back, but we're here again, so hopefully everything's okay. Move that there. Boom. Shaw, Dalot or an Arsenal defender? Arsenal defender. Gabriel and White are the standouts. The thing with Saliba is that, first of all, he's on 4 yellow cards, so if any of these players pick up a yellow card before they've played 19 games, then they are suspended for 1 match. So Saliba's one of those. He's on 4 yellows. The other reason I like Gabriel is he actually has a higher XG for the season, so it's close. Gabriel's actually cheaper, a higher XG for the season, and he's not 1 yellow away from suspension, so that's why Gabriel's my pick. But White is also a really good pick for 4.7 mil. Live chat should be shown now. Odegaard or Martinelli? Martinelli. Saliba or James? James. Will Aaron carry on the current form? That's the $1 million question. You know, he's unbelievable so far. 8 goals and 2 assists. 10 attacking returns. 9 of those came in, I think, the last 8 game weeks since game week 9. Ridiculous form. The fixtures aren't bad. Leicester away, who have been leaky. Leeds at home, good fixture. Arsenal's a difficult one, but you can bench him for someone like Andreas, who has a double game week, depending on how your team's set up. Fulham at home, Crystal Palace away. 5.8 mil, I think he's not a bad option at all to play. Is Kepa starting? I think he will, myself. He was seen back in training, so I think it's promising in that respect. When should I lock in the team? Maybe about 10:30, 15 minutes. Graphic I prepared here on the ranks. This is basically showing various rank points like 1k, 10k, 100k, 1 mil, 2 mil, 3 mil, etc. and how many points you need to be at that rank. So open your app or open the website, check how many points you are and how far away you are behind these various points. The ranks are still fairly condensed, so I think you can take some encouragement from that. Still a lot to play for. You can still move up fast if you start well on the restart. But yeah, rank 1 is just miles ahead already, so I think most of us are out of the running to win FPL, unfortunately. 1,089 points is number 1 in the world. How many points are you guys on? Well, in fact, what's your rank? Chuck your ranks in the chat. Thiago Silva or Reece James? Reece James. The thing with Thiago Silva is just I'm not sure if he's able to play all the games when the fixture schedule is condensed. I think he's 37 or 38, so you know, is he able to play when there's like midweek games weekend, midweek games weekend? He might be managed. Mike Burke, thank you for the super chat as well. Naim is 65k, FPL guidance 1 mil, 1.5 mil. Noctambuli's 1.9 mil, 489k. for 20k. Regfer is 10k, very nice. Jumper's 7k. Big mix of ranks here. SBAM's on 951 points, right on 100k. Yeah, things can change really fast. You know, in my case, I was talking earlier about, literally about 3 game weeks ago, I was 100k, and then so much went wrong that I slipped to where I am now, but it can easily go the opposite way. So yeah, that graphic I think is an encouraging one. Things can change fast. So here we go again. Why Edison? It's a bit of a risky one, Edison, because obviously you can't cover Cancelo, but there is 2 mil that separates them, which is a lot. You know, I've used that money to bring in Gabriel instead. I've got Cucurella instead, so I've got an extra doubler. It is a little bit risky, but it also gives me a lot of money in the bank. I've got 0.8 mil in the bank here, so there's loads I could do with that. So that's where the team's at the moment. Only really a couple of changes from the team selection video, but my other thinking was everyone's got the same team, so why not just have a slightly different team, mix things up a bit, you know? Do you guys find it's a bit boring when everyone's got the same team? I know the template's strong, but you know, this is deviating from the template a little bit. But yeah, Cancelo could punish, don't get me wrong. And I am tripled up on City, so to get Cancelo would be very difficult. I'd have to sell Edison or De Bruyne if he doesn't look like a good option anymore. My starting 11 would be Edison in goal, Gabriel, Trippier, James, Almiron, Saka, De Bruyne, Rashford, Haaland, Martial and Darwin, with Cucurella first on the bench. Darren says, did you ever consider Doherty with his form? Not really, to be honest with you, just too much of a rotation risk. There's still no guaranteeing that he even starts in this game week. They've got Emerson Royale and Jed Spence. I think Spence has even been getting minutes in recent friendlies, so it feels like a risky one to me, a risk too far. But yeah, don't get me wrong, if he starts playing loads of games, if he becomes nailed, 4.6 mil will be an absolute bargain, because we know what he's capable of. Quick look at the goal scorer odds for Game Week 17, which are as follows. Haaland 56.5% chance of scoring any time. Kane 39.5% chance. Anyone in chat on Kane? I feel like I haven't seen him in a single draft on Twitter. But I really don't hate the Kane pick. I know a lot of people are looking at Salah, De Bruyne and Haaland in the threemium, but I really don't mind Kane. You know, if he does get that double game week, I think he's fine. Oh, there's a few Kane owners in the chat. We've got Hakesir, David, Looney Luke, Oliver's got him. Okay. Camo says Kane hella overlooked. It's just that question mark, you know, how he comes back from missing that penalty. Southgate said he's very, very low. He's probably going to be really upset. Some players can just bounce back from that sort of thing. Some players need some time to get going. Obviously, Saka missed the penalty in the Euros final. He's since bounced back, but started the season a little bit slow afterwards. So, yeah, it's hard to say really what happens. But yeah, Kane, I think he's the second top scoring player in the game at the moment. After Haaland, the most consistent player. You know, 12 goals and 3 assists. Look at these numbers and the consistency. 2 blanks since Game Week 2. Thanks for the super chat, Natachot. He says Foden, Mount and Saka, pick 2. I would pick Foden and Saka. I think I would I'm just not sure of Mount. He's only just back in training. Maybe just leave that door open to potentially get him in the double game week instead of now. I think Foden and Saka make more sense. They're having a much better season, so I would just go with the form. And then you still got the option to get Mount for the double game week later. Alexander says, why Cuckoo? So many better options. Who are the better options though? He would be on my bench, by the way. I wouldn't be starting him. And obviously Chilwell is out injured till the new year, so I don't hate the Cucurella pick. Who's better than Cucurella though? I don't think Shaw is necessarily. I mean, Shaw's probably likely to keep a clean sheet. I've got the clean sheet odds actually, but long term, not sure. I think I'm fine to just have Cucurella and bench him. Chalobah. Is Chalobah nailed? They've got Thiago Silva, Koulibaly. If they play a back four, then how likely is Chalobah going to start all games? Maybe he will. Castagna. But yeah, Man United favourites to keep a clean sheet this week. 51.5% chance according to the bookies. Chelsea are up there. So they are second, to be fair. Man City, Arsenal joint. Liverpool, Everton, Brighton and Palace also joint. 34% chance. Pero, forgot about him. He's the Southampton wing back, right? Yeah, in fact, I did have a graphic on the fixture ticker. It's sorted by difficulty excuse me, from now until Gameweek 23. And Southampton are right up there. So yeah, it's not a bad shout, Pero. They've got Brighton at home, Fulham, Forest, Everton, Villa, Brentford and Wolves. Good fixtures, don't get me wrong. But yeah, Man City are top of the fixture ticker. I did it from now until Gameweek 23, just to get all coverage of all double game weeks basically, because there is the double game week in 23 for Arsenal Man City. But yeah, I think the next few weeks are going to be interesting in that we may get some more double game weeks announced. So I think if you can get to a point where you've got a bank transfer, then that's good. Ideally, whenever you wildcard, in my opinion, you don't want to spend a transfer the week after. So I think everyone watching this should be aiming to roll the transfer in Game Week 18 and then see how long you can carry two roll transfers. Because if we do get the double game week in 21, which is what Ben Crellin speculated could happen, he said Arsenal, Everton could, Brighton are also around 75% chance, Palace could double, Bournemouth could double. So suddenly, not far down the line, we may want to bring in assets like Trossard, Zaha maybe, Solanke for these double game weeks. So yeah, if you can get a roll transfer into 18, then I definitely would. And obviously the schedule is really packed right now. We've got a game week today, and then, sorry to jump around so much, and then game week 18 is on the 30th of December. So what's that, 4 days later. So there's going to be a ton of football to come, a ton of content to come as well to help us navigate this. And then we've got game week 19 on the 2nd of January, again 3 days later. So the fixtures are coming thick and fast. So if you can get in a position where you've got a bank transfer, I definitely would. Not just because of the condensed schedule, but also double game weeks that could be announced imminently. Yeah, no Spurs players in my team at the moment, just can't find room for them. White or Gabriel? It depends if you need to start them or not. I think White's the perfect first on bench option, but in my case I'm going to be starting that player, so I've got Gabriel. Right, should I lock this team in then or what? Maybe I'll wait till a bit closer to the deadline just in case of last minute news. Let's see if we've had anything. Maguire? Surely not. Has anyone in chat got Maguire? Maguire? Oh, the live chat stopped working as well. Why is that? Everything's broken. Let me see if I can fix that. Is that fixed? No. What have I done here? There we go. Boom, we're back. Right, Chacha Charlie H says, will there be any Spurs team news in the stream? I'll keep an eye out. I haven't even seen the fixtures. Is it Spurs first today? Oh, it is. Spurs v Brentford. Or Brentford v Spurs. And then there's 5 games on at 3 o'clock. Palace v Fulham. Everton versus Wolves. Leicester v Newcastle. Southampton v Brighton. And then Villa v Liverpool. Oh, so many games today. I love it. FPL is well and truly back. We've got 7 games on today. And then we've got Arsenal v West Ham at 8 o'clock. Late one tonight. That'll finish like 10 PM. Love it. No Cancelo. I know it's a bit of a bold one, but no Cancelo in the team. I've talked a bit about it on this stream. Everyone's got Cancelo. Everyone's got the same team. So I'm mixing it up a bit. Going a bit different. Why not? But it is a bit different. I've gone Ederson instead, and I've got triple Chelsea defence. Don't know how that's happened, but we are where we are. If nothing else, it'll be more entertaining in the coming weeks with a team that's at least a bit more interesting. Triple Chelsea defence. No Cancelo, but Ederson instead. To be fair, Ederson's 2 mil cheaper than Cancelo. Mike Burke says James and Greenwood or Nketiah and Patterson. It'd have to be James and Greenwood, assuming that you don't need to use Greenwood, and assuming that your other bench options are playable. When you go for Greenwood, you basically have to ensure that your other bench players are usable. You know, you don't want to have other bench fodder that's not even going to play, so just bear that in mind, but I would say option A, definitely. I do like the Nketiah pick though, don't get me wrong. In Jesus' absence, I really think he's going to be a really good asset. I think his ownership's only going to head upwards. I won't be at all surprised if he's 7 mil by the end of January. Martial or Wilson. I've got the option to get either, and I'm on Martial. So, Martial. The Lion said meow, says I'm a Chelsea fan, but even I'm not fielding a Chelsea back 3. I know. I'm not going to start them this week, to be fair. It's going to be... I'm going to start Ederson. James will play. Cucurella will be on the bench. Kepa will be on the bench as well. Who am I going to captain? I'm going to captain Haaland. Right, shall I lock this in? So look what the players I'm getting rid of. How did I end up with Dyer and Fofana? This is what I mean. This season's been brutal. So many players I've brought in have got injured or suspended. Isak got injured as well. Rodrigo got injured. Tony and Maddison got suspended after I got them. Foden got benched 3 times in a row after I got him. Need a better second after the season. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of all these players. Zaha missed a penalty as well. God, let's get rid of them. Boom. Confirmed transfer. There it is. Right, let's sort out the starting 11. So Gabriel comes in. Who else comes in? I think that's it. Cucurella first on the bench. I guess I would go in that order. Do you start Cucurella or Gabriel? Cucurella or Gabriel? What do you guys think? Oh no, I need to do Ederson as well. Ederson comes in for Kepa. That's the team. That's it there. Last decision to make is whether to double up with Cucurella with James or just leave Gabriel in. What do you guys think? It's close. There's not much between the two, is there? It's a bit less risky to not double up, so I could leave Gabriel in, but Chelsea do have better clean sheet odds. Why Martial? 3 really good fixtures. 2 home games. I mean, he's playing against Forest, who I think are 19th for goals conceded, and Bournemouth, who are 20th for goals conceded. And then they've got Wolves in between. So I like those 3 fixtures. If it doesn't work out over the next 2, then I could sell Martial for Mitrovic when Mitrovic doubles. But I think that's the final team there. I think we're locked in. That's the team. What do you guys think? Rate my team out of 10. Maddison or Mount. Maddison probably won't even play, so Mount. Oscar says, why do you have Edison and Kepa? So obviously Cancelo's 2 mil more than Edison, and there's about 13 points between the two. So it's just whether he's really worth that or not, because that money can go a long way. You know, I've got Gabriel instead. I've got Cucurella over bench fodder. I can get an extra double game week on Cucurella by going for Edison instead. And I've got more money in the bank as well. I've got 0.8 mil in the bank, so there's lots I could do with that. I could go Almiron to Martinelli. I could do Rashford to Trossard after these 3 games. There's loads of ways I could go. But also the other reason was everyone's got the same team, so I think why not just be a bit different? You know, it's a game. I've got to have a bit of fun with it, right? If everyone's got the same bloody 11 or 15, then what's the point? So that's why it's a little bit different. Natty says bench boost. I definitely wouldn't bench boost this week. You want to save the bench boost 100%. There's going to be lots of double game weeks to come later in the season, and we do already have 11 postponements. I'll just pull this up. These are the postponements. There's 11 already. Obviously we had loads of fixtures postponed from Game Week 7. So there's going to be double game weeks. A big double game week, maybe the biggest ever. Plus there'll be further postponements as a result of cup competitions. So you want to save your bench boost for whenever those double game weeks come, not now. I imagine Kepa plays, yeah. That's the other reason that Edison's not bad. If for any reason there's any surprises with Kepa, then instead of starting Ward every week, then it's Edison. But I don't mind the Cancelo pick, honestly. It's very close. I think Cancelo and Ward is fine. It's basically Cancelo and Ward, or Edison and Gabriel and Cucurella. You've got more money to spread around. Ali Abdullah says, I triple captain Cancelo on that -4 day. No. Wasn't it -2? So you got -6 for that. Oh god, I've lost my voice. Let me just grab a drink, I'll be 2 secs. I'm back. Welcome back for another video. What drink have you locked in? I've actually just gone for water, just to help clear the throat. I haven't talked for this long in a long while. It's been about 6 weeks since the last stream. Need to warm up the vocal cords like singers do. La 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 la, FPL, FPL, FPL. Spot on intro. Did that sound like it? Bang on. Welcome back for another video. You guys wouldn't believe how OCD I am when I'm recording videos. Sometimes I'll re-record the welcome back for another video if I don't like how I said it. Was it smart to bench boost? No. If you've got the bench boost active, deactivate it. I wouldn't use it, no. Save it. We talked about that bit just now. I'd save it. Rashford or Zaha? Rashford. FPL vocal. I like that. Saka or Erdegaard, and why? Saka for me. Higher expected goal involvement over the season and on penalties. FPL bin. Any thoughts on Havertz? Not for me. Not Havertz. I think there's better options around that price point. Darwin, Martial, Nketiah, Wilson. I would pick all of those before I pick Havertz. No Mitro news as far as I'm aware. Yeah, Odegaard's a good differential, don't get me wrong, but I prefer Saka and Martinelli. Saka versus Martinelli. If you can find the money, I prefer Saka. It's close because there is a fair price gap between them, but Saka's got a higher expected goal involvement, and as I say, he's on penalties, so that's why I would go for Saka over Martinelli, if you can. Mohit, thank you for the super chat as well, appreciate that. Saka or Foden? It's really down to minutes, and this is the frustrating thing with Foden. When he's playing, he's the better pick, no doubt. But before the break, benched 3 times in a row for no apparent reason. So Saka for me, I think just go safer. Martial or Nketiah? That's a close one, but I prefer Martial. I like the next 3. And then I might end up selling him for Nketiah or maybe for Mitrovic. I've been not feeling 100% as well, which I think is why my throat's hurting. Luckily, I didn't get too sick. I know I've been talking to Ross lots over the last week, and he's been too sick to do videos up until recently. So it's good to have Ross back, but yeah, luckily it didn't knock me out of making videos, but I haven't been 100%. Keep your questions coming in. We've got, what, 20 odd minutes? So I think I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to take a screenshot. I'll tweet this. By the way, if you guys are on Twitter, tag me in a photo of wherever you're watching from and I'll retweet it, wherever you are in the world. Gameweek 17. Everyone's got the same bloody team. So I'm mixing it up a bit. How's that? Thoughts on Tony? I would swerve Tony, Blake. Sorry, not Blake, Dan. Blake's your last name. I've got a mate with the surname Blake, so I call him Blake. Gameweek 17, everyone's got the same bloody team, so I'm mixing it up a bit. Boom. Done. Arthur says, congrats on the recent runners-up award. Good work. Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, that was at the Football Content Award. Came second place for the best new content creator. Saka or Rashford? That's tough. I think Rashford just about. Mohit says Wilson or Greenwood to be first in bench this game week. Wilson or Greenwood? Wilson. 100% Wilson. Greenwood might not get any minutes at all. Cut Trippier or Cancelo? I've cut Cancelo, but I do have Edison still, to be fair. So I think ideally you want to have some Man City defensive coverage. I don't think you want to go without both of them. Bit risky. Obviously, if you book in a transfer for the potential double Game Week 20, it's fine, but I think it's risky to go with none. Because pretty much everyone's got either Edison or Cancelo. Alvin Block says Kulusevski. I don't hate the Kulu pick, but I think there's better options at a price range like Saka, Rashford, Almiron, Martinelli, Mount. Oh my god, I'm struggling. How long we got? 20 minutes. Why both premium goalkeepers? Kepa's not premium, to be fair. 4.5 mil. SP's commented on the tweet. Says on the stream focal. Shout out to SP. Yeah, if anyone's not following me on Twitter, it's at fplfocal. Last King Curtis says, I'm watching you live tweeting this. Is actually fun. Best of luck, mate. Thank you. Appreciate that. You can do it, Oscar. Keep drinking water. You're watching a man struggling before in front of 2,500 people. I'll keep getting this water down me, but the problem is it's already running out. Tatenda, thank you for the 3 months. He says, is it important? Is it? Let me lower my chair. Maybe I'm looking down too much. Is it important to have all bench players playing? No, it's not important. As we've seen, a lot of people are going for Greenwood as their third striker, who probably won't play at all. But if you're doing that, your other 2 bench players do need to be playing. Otherwise, you are cutting it fine. Hope that helps. Is Cucurella nailed? Once Chilwell's back, then no. But I don't mind him as a short-term pick. You know, I can sell him after the double if I need. Oh, why is my throat hurting so much? I didn't realise I was still sick. Why not Martinelli? Yeah, I've gone for Almiron instead. There's not much between the two. Almiron's obviously the man this season, top scoring midfielder. Martinelli has been really good as well, to be fair, but yeah, I've gone for Almiron. I've got money in the bank to do Almiron to Martinelli if I need to, if they get a double game week. But I've left that slot open because I may want Nketiah instead a bit further down the line. Price says, what does the ordering of the subs do? So yeah, you can see above here you got 1, 2, 3. This is the order that they come on for you. If someone doesn't play in your team, so let's say that Almiron doesn't play, then Cucurella comes on. But it has to be a legal formation. So if Gabriel doesn't play and I had Andreas first, then you can't play with 2 at the back. So Cucurella comes on. Ashik says, why Patterson over Bueno? He's more nailed, and he made the double game week in 21, so I've got that at the back of my head as well. Ben Crellin reckons there's about a 75% chance of a double game week 21 for both Arsenal and Everton, so that's why I've got Patterson. Obviously Bueno's been doing well and he's 0.1 mil cheaper, but they do have Nori and Johnny who can play his position, so that's at the back of my head as well. FPL Flame says, we love you, Oscar. I love you guys too. I'm struggling. I'm sorry my voice is struggling this stream. I've not been 100%, but as you guys know, I managed to put out a video every day for like the last 8 days, so I'm happy that it didn't affect me to the point where I couldn't do videos, but my voice is struggling a bit, I won't lie. But I've got today off. After this, I'm going to just watch all the games, soak it all in, and then the FPL content resumes probably tomorrow. "15 minutes till the deadline." Is everyone locked in now? Is there any questions you guys want me to put up as a poll? Any key questions that we need to poll to the community? Cucurella or Shaw? I've gone Cucurella, so Cucurella for me. Let me get more water. Hang on. I'll be right back. Oh my god, I need next stream I'm just gonna have a glass full of cough syrup. Right, there we go. No Arsenal for me, too risky, says FPL Jelly. I think you need at least one Arsenal. there is that potential double game week 21 as well. So I think, even if it's someone like White, I think it's worth having one. A Salah versus De Bruyne poll. Okay, we did one much earlier, but that was much earlier, like an hour ago almost. So let's do it again. Should I add an option, both? That'd be interesting to see if anyone's on both. Salah or De Bruyne, or both. Get your votes in. Jason there says, can you explain why De Bruyne for Salah, why Saka over Foden? Yeah, when I watched the League Cup, De Bruyne ran the show, 2 assists, man of the match performance. He does have more points this calendar year, or this season as well, more points per game. He has the double game week 20 and 23, so it's also a saved transfer. Just a combination of reasons, really. And that's why I don't have Foden, because I'm tripled up. FPL Junkie says, better goalkeeper option, De Gea or Ramsdale? Ramsdale. Who do I support? Arsenal. John says, everyone, let's get Oscar to 1k likes. Yeah, we've got 2,500 watching now, so 400 likes. If everyone hits like now, we'll blow past it. But if you're enjoying the stream so far, all the content I prepare for these streams, do hit like. I appreciate all your support. Oh, it's flown up, 675. Drew Fourier says, Bernardo Silva maybe. Not for me, not Bernardo. He's just such a troll asset, isn't he? Not for me. I think it's Foden or De Bruyne if you want a midfielder. He's one of those. He is like Foden. If you catch him at the right time, he's a good asset. But Foden's more explosive, more direct. So, not tempted by Bernardo at all. Thanks for instigating that, John. 944 now. We're almost at 1k likes. That flew up. That went up like 600 likes in about a minute. You guys are mad. Oh, we're also at 129k subscribers. That's gone up as well, I think. It was 128k before we went live. Dallo news. Dallo's injured, so get rid of Dallo. Kulusevski or Zaha? I prefer Zaha for the next two, but it does mean you have to book in a transfer. Longer term, Kulu. There it is, 1k likes. Thank you guys, appreciate that. Can you guys see dislikes? We've got 2 dislikes as well. I don't blame you. My voice has given in today. As I say, I've been sick, but not too sick. Mohit says, start Gabriel or Wilson. Wilson. Chase the upside, the higher upside player, which is definitely Wilson this week. I'd probably make that decision every week, to be honest with you. I would never bench Wilson. Maybe if it's someone like Man City, you can make the case, but you know, he's away to Leicester. Chase the upside there. Always chase the upside. Pope or Kepa? I like Kepa more. Trossard or Saka? I'd say Saka, but Trossard's an interesting one. Obviously Brighton could double in 21, but I think it's fine to wait. I don't think you need him now. So I think Saka. Yeah, Trossard probably will come in for me in a few weeks' time, but not now. Oh, I didn't do my scoreline predictions on Super Brew. Oh, I think I can do it afterwards. That's alright. If anyone's not a member of the fplfocal Discord, by the way, I'll chuck a link in the chat. We've got something like 13k managers in there now. Really good FPL resource. I've just resumed all the bots. I put them on pause over the break. We've got things like the price changes, we've got lineups, we've got the live scores, we've got live points. bonus points, top 10k stats, deadline alerts. There's loads here. And you can even pick which alerts you want to receive. You can configure it as you please. If, for example, if you wanted to receive price changes every night, and you can do. So I'll chuck that in the chat as well. Go join the Discord if you're not a member. I'll be in there as soon as this stream wraps up. And obviously I'll be in the live match channel for all the games today. So that poll earlier was Salah or De Bruyne. 33% Salah, 59% De Bruyne, 8% both. Interesting. Thank you for voting. I'll just pin the Discord instead, that'll be easier so you don't have to scroll. Who's more nailed, Patterson or Coleman? Patterson, 100%. Patterson was starting every game before he got injured. He's back from injury now and he's played all the friendlies. In fact, he's played the 90 in every friendly. And he got 1 assist. So it's Patterson, 100%. Start Martial or Almiron? Martial. Not ideal to be benching Almiron though. What's in your team for if you're benching him? I'll bench him in 19 against Arsenal, but I'll be starting Andreas, so it's a bit more understandable. What about Sarr between the posts? Not tempted by Sarr. If I'm getting a goalkeeper, I think the best 4 options are Ederson, Kepa, Sanchez and Ward. Sarr's not in my top 4. Start Andreas or White. Trippier or Shaw. Trippier. Kepa news. All we know that is Kepa is back in training. We don't know much. I think he's first choice though, which is why I've got him. Is Son a good pick? Very risky pick, I would say. Oops, let me mute Discord. He's a risky pick. You know, he's not had a great season so far. I think you're better off saving money or get the extra money for a premium like De Bruyne or Salah. Yeah, I would assume Kane starts today. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. FPL Junkie says Nketiah or Wilson. I think Nketiah actually just about edges it. I really do. And he's a massive differential. He's what, like 1.5% owned? And he is greedier than Jesus, which is good from an FPL perspective. Jesus is obviously pivotal to how Arsenal play, which is obviously going to be interesting as well, how that plays out. He's key in terms of the build-up, creativity, creating chances. Nketiah is more of a direct forward. He likes to shoot whenever he can. So there's every chance he's more of a scorer, less of an assister compared to Jesus. So I think he's a great option. Mantej says, why not Cancelo? And isn't Martial risky? Yeah, I've taken a risk on Ederson over Cancelo. And that's given me extra money for Gabriel, for Cucurella, plus more on the bank. Plus I've still got Kepa, so I've got the double game week in 19 and then 20 if City double, then 23. So I've got some extra double game week fixtures there. They're both, I mean, I can understand people going Cancelo, I really can. The other reason, as I was saying earlier, is everyone's got the same team, so I thought why not just mix it up a bit. Pick 1 or 2 players that's just different to everyone else. Because it feels like everyone's got the same 15 or so. So I've sprinkled in a few players, like I guess Martial might be template now, but yeah, Ederson instead, Gabriel instead of Cancelo, Cucurella, I've chucked him. Martial's a little bit risky, he's an injury risk, but 3 very good fixtures, so I'm taking the risk. If it doesn't work out, then I've got Mitrovic I can move to when he doubles, or I've got Nketiah, both about the same price point. Start Gabriel or Akanji, or Almiron or Mount. I mean, if you've got Akanji, when aren't you going to start him when he's got a fixture like Leeds? But I think I'd start Gabriel because he's playing at home and has more goal threat. Start Almiron or Mount. You have to start Mount, but again, it's not ideal to have Almiron and bench him. your bench might be a bit too strong there. But that's what I would do. Aaron, thanks for the super chat as well. Amol Dangle says, Rashford or Trossard? Rashford. Start Willian or Almiron? Almiron. James Price says, why is no one talking about Rodrigo? I think he's being talked about a fair bit. It's just, there's so many good options in midfield. It's stacked. You know, my team, Almiron, Saka, Rashford. You've got Martinelli. People have got players like Mount. Obviously need a premium mid ideally, like De Bruyne or Salah. A lot of people have got Andreas because he doubles in 19. So where do you find room? Foden's another one I forgot. Kulusevski. And also Leeds, I think they've got 2 bad fixtures for the restart, right? They got Man City this week, so you don't play them there. Maybe Newcastle, but that's a tough game. I've absolutely ruined my voice box. Next video I'm going to be like, welcome back for another video. I missed a super chat, sorry. Thanks for the super chat, Thomas Lindsay. There was no message with that one. What was Oscar's? Start Shaw or Saliba? Shaw. Start Shaw. So we've got Paul O'Keefe's predicted Spurs lineup for those that are asking for early news. It is just a prediction though. That's the team. It's Forster. Forster? Oh yeah, because of Loris at the World Cup final. He's predicted Perisic and Emerson, a wing back. Kulusevski, Kane, Son, front 3. I would agree with that. Højbjerg and Bissouma in midfield. Yeah, so Forster in goal. Interesting. That's what Paul O'Keefe predicts for the Brentford game. For those that are asking. But there's been no leaks or anything like that. We've only got a few minutes till the deadline now, so a reminder to lock in your team. Make sure your bench is in the right order, your captain sorted, all those good things. Is the website loading? Is it down again? Surely not. Or is that my internet? It's not loading for me. Can you guys get on the website? Or on the app? Oh no, not this again. Are you kidding me? Again, we're back from the break and we've got more site crashes. Well, I think I'm locked in. I'm 99% sure I'm locked in. Did I hit save team? Yeah, I'm locked in. But the website's not loading. It's down. Oh, are you kidding me? The app's fine. I have to double check my team's locked in. Yeah, all good. All good. Right. Yep, so this is my team. This is how I'm lining up for Gameweek 17. Locked in. It's a little bit different to the template. Everyone's got Cancelo. People have got Kepa in goal. I've gone for Edison instead. I've got Gabriel over White instead. Cucurella on the bench. I thought I'd mix it up a bit, really. I've changed a few players because everyone's got the same bloody team. At least I'll be a bit more interested in future streams and videos and so on. So, yeah, the app works fine for me straight away, but the website's down. So if you need to make any last minute changes, do it on the app now, ASAP. Love you too. 2 minutes left, says John. Midnight Mule in the chat, how we doing, mate? Kepa or Ramsdale? Kepa. Will Kepa play? I think he will. Obviously, he is just coming back from injury, so that's why people are asking the question. I think he will, so I think Kepa's fine. I've got him on my bench in my case, but I think Kepa and Ward's a good goalkeeper duo. Joe James says locked. Good. He's sorted. Team locked in. Less than a minute till the deadline. App down. Use the app downs as well. The app's down as well. The app works for me. The app's alright for me. Nasty Biscuit Box, great username. It says, thanks for the stream this morning, Oscar. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, honestly, thank you all so much for tuning in. It's great to have such a good turnout after like 6 weeks off. I wasn't sure if there'd be an appetite for FPL coming back, but clearly there is. It hasn't dropped at all, so that's good. And that is the deadline. Yeah, I've not been feeling 100%, which is why my voice I think is so broken for this stream, so I appreciate your bearing with me. It won't affect the upload schedule. Fortunately, I've been able to upload videos still, and there's going to be loads more to come, so hit subscribe if you're not. There's going to be loads of videos to come over the next week. As I said earlier, it's a pretty packed schedule. We've got Game Week 17 today, and then we've got Game Week 18 on the 30th of December in 4 days, and then we've got Game Week 19 on the 2nd of January. So I'm going to have to make a video on New Year's Day hungover, I think, but it is what it is. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to end it there because my voice is broken. Is there anyone we can raid? Let's see. FPL. Who's live? We'll head over to Harry's stream. I'll chuck the link in the chat. Where's my stream? Alright, everyone go head over to Harry's stream. Tell him Focal sent you. Send him my love. I'll see you over at Harry's stream. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all so much. That's it for me. I'll see you on Discord, no doubt, if you're a member of the Discord. But that's it from me. Focal out.